Hi everyone, Daphne here, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will be working on a commission and showing what my process looks like, while I also try to discuss what you need to take into consideration before you take commissions yourself. Commissions are probably every artist's first taste at making money on their artwork, so it's no surprise that so many want to jump in as soon as they can. Whether you're picking up commissions at conventions or taking requests online, there are certain things that you have to keep in mind when doing so. The internet is chock full of horror stories about both horrible clients and unprofessional artists. And what I want to do is try to give you as much advice as I can on what it takes to be an artist clients would want to work with again and again. Be clear on your pricing. Before you offer up your art for commissions, have a base price for your work so that your clients will know where to start. Nothing is more frustrating than an artist who's wishy-washy about their prices. It's okay to have prices change depending on medium, complexity, and other changeable requests, but have a base price to start. In my example, my pen and ink work starts at $35 for a simple piece, then goes up from there. The beauty of a base price is that it tells the client and yourself what's the lowest price you will go on a piece. However, you'd be naive to not expect a client to negotiate once the prices go up. Now, it's up to you if you want to negotiate and by how much, but know where your hard lines are. Most clients are rather reasonable with what their budgets can take. However, learn to tell the difference between a client that's negotiating in good faith and a client that's just trying to scam your artwork off of you for as little as possible. Real clients worth their salt are willing to pay you for your art. Be wary, if not completely avoid, people who try to guilt you out of getting paid or promise exposure. If they can't or won't pay you, their exposure is worth as little as their lack of budget. No one is entitled to your artwork, and it's their responsibility to afford your artwork, not yours to make it affordable to them if it's a detriment to you. They want your artwork for a reason. They are not doing you a favor by wanting it, and as such, they should be ready and willing to pay your price for it. Once a price has been agreed upon, the next step is to set a schedule so that the client has an expectation as to when they can expect roughs, sketches, inks, colors, and the final piece. Way too many artists trip themselves up here. A client has a reasonable expectation to know when they can expect the art they're paying for, and it's your responsibility to set that schedule. And for God's sake, if you tell a client they can expect artwork in a certain amount of time, you better make sure you keep that promise to them, or at least keep them updated if any changes to the schedule happen. The more you keep a client updated, the less they will worry about you being able to finish the job. Now you have a price and schedule agreed upon. Make it as easy as possible for the client to pay you. You can send invoices through PayPal, or I've seen people set up a commission option in their online stores. The point is, don't start any work until you've gotten at least half payment up front. Some clients don't have a problem paying the artist in full up front, but some clients would rather pay half first, then pay the rest when the job is completed. This is completely normal. Remember, the client is trusting you as much as you are trusting them to hold up their end. But most importantly, only when you get your money do you start working. No money, no work. Depending on the piece, I like to start with layouts and give the client choices for what they like the best. This also gives the client the opportunity to recommend changes in a stage where the changes are the easiest to do. I like to make 4 layouts and leave that as the only choices. Any more and you risk confusing the client, and that's not good for anyone. Remember your schedule. If you say you're going to have layouts within X amount of days, then have the layouts done in those X amount of days. Then update the client as to when the next step is to be expected. Using my piece as an example, the client asked that I not make the character muscular and to lean him out a bit. The client has chosen their layout, and now it's time for the tight layout or final pencils, depending on how you work. This is also another opportunity for the client to request changes when it's still easy to change. Using my piece as an example, the client asked to shorten the character's hair so it wasn't so long. This is where I also told the client that inking comes next and that changes to the artwork wouldn't be possible after this point. In my case, everything was good to go, but by mentioning that, it gives the client the opportunity to really think about the piece and make sure everything is up to snuff before the finals. I've been very fortunate that I've pretty much had an uneventful commission career, so I can't really tell you really dramatic horror stories that I've personally dealt with. I think the worst was when I did a logo design, and not only did the client not pay me and disappeared, but when he finally contacted me 3 years later, not only did he demand the logo like nothing had happened, but he wanted all these changes on top of it. Needless to say, I deleted his email and refused to contact him again about the logo, which I never gave him the artwork for. I figured he could pay the next artist to do his logo all over again and make the changes then. And there was the funny story of a woman who, after bragging about her son's financial prowess in real estate to me, wanted me to illustrate a children's book for her. When I asked her about her budget, she replied, "God will provide." I told her I was busy and couldn't do her book. It would have served me right to have ignored that blatant of a red flag. And maybe there was this guy at a convention who insisted that I draw his furry character for free because all the other artists loved his character and loved drawing him for free, so why couldn't I just draw his character for free? I just kept repeating my prices over and over again until he finally got the hint and left. I guess it wasn't that important for me to draw his character after all. Now, of course, if you end up with a roster of regulars, then you'll be able to work with them according to your relationship with them, making the rules above flexible. But until you get to that point, really make it a point to set and enforce boundaries. The good clients will respect you back because they want to continue working with you. The art scammers will make themselves known really quickly and will disappear once they figure you won't bend for them. But in the end, what I'm really trying to say here is that if you want to take commissions, it is your responsibility to be as professional as possible towards the client, whether they are paying $5 or $5,000. Protect yourself as best you can from shady art scammers, but remember that the bar for professionalism is so low. You'd be surprised at how many clients actually thank me just for sending regular update emails and keeping them in the loop, much less keeping on a schedule. You have absolutely no excuse. Don't end up the artist that ends up on beware groups and forums. It's much harder to rebuild a ruined reputation than it is to just do things the right and honest way the first time. Here's the finished inked piece for this commission. I delivered the piece exactly when I told the client, and he was very happy with the final result. In this situation, he actually didn't want the original artwork. He just wanted a high-res digital file, which I supplied, but I told him I would hold on to the original in case he changed his mind. If you have any questions or comments about the topic, feel free to leave them down below, and I'll try to answer as best as I can. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!